Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling something pretty much everyone wants, but honestly, very few people know how to actually achieve. We're talking about dramatically improving your brain power. We so often think of our brain as this static, fixed computer, right? But what if I told you it's actually way more like a muscle? Just like you'd hit the physical gym to build your biceps, you can absolutely train your brain to become stronger, faster, and demonstrably smarter.
To really grasp the scale of what's possible, let's look at some staggering data from a World Data Info report. The global average intelligence quotient, or IQ, sits right around 100, with places like Singapore and Hong Kong leading the pack. In India, the average is currently at 81. But then you have the outliers. Elon Musk sits at a staggering 165. And it doesn't stop there. Albert Einstein was at 160. India's own Anushka Dixit scored a phenomenal 162. And Isaac Newton was at a mind-bending 198. Now, the takeaway here isn't to feel intimidated. It's to realize what the human brain is physically capable of. Through dedicated training, we can actually reach genius levels ourselves.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step cognitive fitness regimen for today. First, the intelligence quotient myth. Second, visualize with 5 senses. Third, listen to brain harmonics. Fourth, learn something completely new. And finally, master your self-control.
Section 1. The intelligence quotient myth. Intelligence isn't fixed. For the longest time, the old-school belief was that your intellectual capacity was just permanently set in stone once you hit adulthood. You get what you get, and that's the end of the story. But modern science has completely and utterly debunked this. Now, before we train it, we have to understand what IQ actually is. It's not just about memorizing random trivia facts. As this specific formula shows, mental age divided by chronological age multiplied by 100, IQ is a measurable capacity. It's your brain's raw ability to take in new information, hold onto it securely, and use it as a foundation to solve complex problems. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we do it: neuroplasticity. This is the scientific proof that your brain is incredibly adaptable. It literally modifies its neural connections and its physical structure based entirely on your experiences and how much you use it. So the parts of your brain responsible for logical reasoning, memory, and emotions, they will actually expand or shrink depending on how much you exercise them. It's exactly like physical muscles. If you don't use them, they waste away. Without a cognitive workout, you lose neural connections and your problem-solving skills weaken. Section 2. Visualize with 5 senses. Ignite your imagination.
Let's be honest, in our modern world, digital screens do all the heavy lifting, which has made our imaginations terribly lazy. Because vivid visuals are just handed to us without any effort, our brains kind of stop doing the work. So here's your first mental workout to fix that. Step 1, pick a goal or an idea. Step 2, consciously visualize it using all 5 of your senses. Think about when you're deep in a dream at night. Your senses are totally active and everything feels completely real, right? Well, you need to do that consciously during the day. See the idea, hear the sounds, smell the environment. Step 3, practice this conscious daydreaming for 15 to 45 minutes every single day. By forcing sight, sound, and smell simultaneously, you're demanding that completely different, dormant areas of your brain fire up and work together at the exact same time. And here is the best part. If you commit to this, research shows you can expect noticeable results in just 2 to 4 weeks. Every single great invention in human history started as an imagined, visualized idea in someone's mind. Consistent practice of this technique will rapidly increase your reading ability, supercharge your concentration span, and massively upgrade how much info your brain can hold at once.
Section 3. Listen to brain harmonics. Boost brain function.
Now, what's really interesting is this massive number, 23%. We can actually use passive but incredibly potent tools for the brain, like specific auditory frequencies. Dr. Siegfried Othmer, a leading expert in biofeedback, conducted this fascinating study. He had participants listen to specific brainwave frequencies while meditating. The result of that study? A massive 23% average increase in their IQ scores. That is a game changer.
So how does this magic actually work? Well, our brain is divided into 2 halves that often operate kind of independently. Brain harmonics use specific sound waves that literally force both halves of your brain to sync up. And this synchronization creates new, stronger neural pathways. Here's your actionable routine. Listen to these frequencies for 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week. The beauty of this is you can just passively listen to these beats while you're studying or working, maximizing your brain's energy efficiency without even taking extra time out of your day.
Section 4. Learn something completely new. Force mental growth.
Let's go back to that gym metaphor for a second. If you lift the exact same 10-pound weight every single day for a year, your muscles adopt and they just stop growing, right? Well, your brain operates on the exact same principle. We see this perfectly in American psychologist Richard Hare's famous Tetris experiment. He studied the brains of people who had never played Tetris before while they learned the game. Initially, this totally novel task required massive brain effort. Their brains used a ton of glucose, and over several weeks, the participants' brain cortex literally became thicker as new connections were rapidly built. But here's the kicker. Once they mastered the game, it became a routine task. Their brains got highly efficient, used very little energy, and essentially became lazy. All cognitive growth completely stalled out. So, to keep growing, you have to continuously increase the mental weight. You absolutely must force your brain out of its lazy comfort zone. Here are some quick, practical ways to do that today. Learn to play an instrument. Study a totally new language. Try navigating a new route to work without looking at your GPS. Or just try writing or brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Keep throwing novel tasks at your brain so it has no choice but to adapt and get stronger.
Section 5. Master your self-control. Emotional discipline.
We frequently mistake intelligence for just raw computing power, but true measurable intelligence actually relies heavily on emotional discipline and psychology. Just look at the stark contrast in this 2008 Yale study. Participants were given an IQ test and offered a reward, with a simple choice: take a smaller reward immediately or wait and get a bigger one later. The researchers found a massive correlation. The folks who gave in to instant gratification consistently scored lower on their IQ tests. Meanwhile, those who had the self-control and mental discipline to wait for the delayed reward, they consistently scored significantly higher.
So the crucial point here is perfectly captured by this powerful quote from an American psychologist. The sign of intelligent people is the ability to control their emotions by the application of reason. True intelligence is not just about solving some complex math equation. It's about dictating your own choices. It's having the ability to pause, stop impulsive actions, resist negative influences, and make a reasoned, deliberate decision. That emotional mastery is the ultimate flex of true intelligence.
Which brings us to a final, provocative question for you to ponder today. When faced with a choice in your daily life, will you choose the easy path of instant gratification, or will you exercise the cognitive self-control to wait for the ultimate reward? The tools are right in front of you. Your brain is a highly adaptable muscle just waiting to be challenged. So what are you waiting for? Get out there, hit the mental gym, and start building your cognitive strength